Welcome, students. Today we are going to study in classical taxonomy and phylogeny under course code BOC 105. The title of the unit is Systematic Diagnostic Features and Important Plants of the Family. The module name Family Apocynaceae. I'm Dr. Maria Fonseca, Professor and Principal of St. Joseph's College, Kottali. The outline of my topic is classification of the family Apocynaceae, its diagnostic features, important ornamental, economic, medicinal plants of the same family. The learning outcomes: we are going to identify plants belonging to family Apocynaceae, describe with diagnostic features. We are also going to list ornamental, economic, medicinal plants of the same family. Family Apocynaceae, the main thing is a classification. Now we classify this family under Bentham and Hookers system of classification. It comes under division phanerogams. Now we know phanerogams are plants which are flowering plants. So all flowering plants will come under division phanerogams. Then class dicotyledone or dicotyledons, because the plants show two cotyledons, reticulate venation and a taproot system. Under subclass Gemopetalae. Gemopetalae, as the name suggests, the petals are united and not free. Therefore, comes under class Gemopetalae. Order Gentineales. The reason being, normally you will find in this family, all the plant shows that the leaves are opposite, stamens are equal, alternating with petals. That is Apocynaceae family. Now, Apocynaceae, it comes from the word apocynum, the Greek word, means dog away, commonly known as the dog bone family. Now, dog bone family because the taxas were used as dog poison. Now, what are the diagnostic features? How this family differs from the other families that you're going to study. So, we call them as the diagnostic features. Normally, you'll find these plants which comes under this family are normally herbs, they are shrubs or climbers, and plants with milky latex. That's very important character. Another very important character is the leaves opposite or whorled. Now all of you know what's the meaning of whorled leaf arrangement. At the node you will find number of leaves arises at one point. There may be more than two. Then the throat of the corolla tube with scales, we said it is Gemopetalae. Therefore it forms a corolla tube. With scales means sometimes presence of hairs are present in the throat of the corolla tube. Then here we have pollinia are absent. Very important because you're going to study another family where pollinias are present. Ovary is superior. The ovary is superior because all the floral parts you'll find comes below the ovary. Because ovary is superior, in a sense it is higher above than the other rest of the arrangements of the petals or stamens or corolla and all these others. Fruit is a follicle and seeds show you will find with a tuft of hairs. Now what are the vegetative features of this family? You can see some of the examples under this family. We have, these are normally you will find they are herbs, shrubs, trees, vines or cactus-like. You can see herbs, normal herbs which you see in your garden. We have periwinkle, also called as catharanthus, which is the most common plant coming under Apocynaceae. We have another one that is Nerium, which is a shrub, also very common, along with Alamanda, also a climber. Okay, so these are shrubs. Trees are very few in this family. We have trees like Alstonia and plants like cactus-like structures where you can see, where you'll find leaves are very much reduced. Now, the root. The root is normally a taproot since it's a dicot. Stem is cylindrical. What about the leaves? You can see the leaves in the picture. The leaves are simple. They are entire. There is no serrations at the margins. Or they may be reduced or absent in some succulents. That is only in case of succulents. The opposite, as you see in catharanthus, that is vinca. You can see the leaves are opposite. You can see them. They are opposite on either side. And the next pair of leaves arises on the next node, which are at right angles to the first one. That we call it as decussate arrangement. While in case of Alamanda, you can see at the node, there are 4 leaves coming out. So their arrangement is in the form of a whorl arrangement we say. Now venation pattern is reticulate and stipules are absent. Now look at the inflorescence. We are going to the reproductive part. Now when we say reproductive part of the plant is a flower. Now how is this inflorescence and what do we mean by inflorescence? Inflorescence is a group of flowers together. So flowers may be single, solitary or in the form of bunches. So here in case of this family, the inflorescence is cymose, either terminal or axillary at the side branch. As in case of vinca, you find the flower is solitary. And in case of alamander, you will find it may be in the form of a cymose inflorescence. The flower is bisexual. What do we mean by bisexual? Bisexual means both the sex organs are present in the same flower, the androecium and gynoecium. Then it is actinomorphic and not zygomorphic. What is actinomorphic? Actinomorphic is a flower where you will find the floral symmetry. When you cut the flower, you will get more than 2 cuts. You find a flower arrangement will be similar. Whichever side you cut, you will find the same parts of the flower will be obtained. So it is actinomorphic, hypogynous because it is superior ovary, and pentamerous. The word penta means 5. So we have 5 calyx, 5 sepals and 5 petals. So therefore pentamerous. Now going to the calyx, we know the flower has 4 important whorls. Now which are the 4 important whorls of the flower? The calyx, the corolla, the androecium and the gynoecium. Now the first whorl, that is a calyx, it is made up of sepals. Now sepals are the lowest part of the flower where you will find the flower when it is in bud condition is enclosed. So it helps in protection. Now in this case in apocynaceae the sepals are 5. They are rarely 4 because we know it is pentamerous. They are polysepalous where you will find the sepals are not fused or they may be deeply lobed. But there are some plants in this family where you will find the sepals are fused. So we call them as gamosepalous. Now these are often glandular at the base, presence of a gland at the base of the sepals. Now the corolla. Corolla is made up of petals. Now petals here are united and therefore we say gamopetalous. The tube, in case of vinca or catharanthus, you will find it forms a salver shape. What's the meaning of salver shape? Salver shape, you will find it is a straight long tube and at, right on top of it, you will find the petals are free. So that arrangement we call it as salver shaped as in case of catharanthus. Or it may be funnel shaped as in case of Thevesia. You can see the yellow flower Thevesia. That's a funnel shaped, or you will find it is campanulate or bell shaped as in case of alamander. Now going to the third whorl of the flower, that is the androecium. Androecium you will find is made up of stamens and each stamen is made up of an anther and a filament. So here we have 4 to 5 stamens and which are epipetalous. That is very important to know. What's the meaning of epipetalous? Epipetalous means attached to the petals. If you see in the following picture, you will find the anthers are shown very nicely attached to the petals and they are alternating with the petals. They have a short filament, okay, and the anthers are intros. What's the meaning of intros? Intros means directed inward. They are polyandrous, they are many. Or you'll find they are connate and often adhere to the stigma. Sometimes you'll find they remain attached to the, remain more closer to the stigma. Look at this picture. This picture will tell you exactly, you can see the anthers, you can see the stigma which is a dial shape like structure, you can see the style as well as you can see the hair like structures which are there. So you can see the epipetalous stamens attached to the petals with a short filament. Now going to the gynoecium or the female part of the flower. Now the female part of the flower is made up of a carpel. And what is a carpel? Carpel is stigma, style and ovary. Now since it is having 2 carpels fused together, we call it as bicarpellary. And fusing together, that word we use is syncarpus. So we have a syncarpous bicarpellary ovary, but you will find if you look at the ovary you will find both the ovary lobes which are there down, they are free but they are attached to the style. The styles are fused. So the stigma here is thickened and it forms an hourglass like in case of vinca, and the ovaries are fused with axile presentation. Now, what is axile presentation? The arrangement of the ovules will find in the center there is placenta surrounded by ovules. When you cut it in a section, you can see it very well as axile presentation. Then the fruit is a drupe in case of Tevacia, it's a berry in case of Carissa. Now, Carissa carenda is a common plant in Goa. Also, you will find the fruit is also called as follicle, as in case of Nerium and Alstonia. Now, the floral features. Now, very important, this floral formula can tell you the whole description of the whole flower. Now, let us see these three flowers. The most common being Catharanthus roseus. You find it is ebracteate. I have not spoken about any bracts here. Therefore, it is ebracteate. The cross with a circle signifies that it is regular or actinomorphic. The next one we have, it is bisexual. You can see the male and the female character in the same flower. Key 5, it means calyx are 5 and they are not being put in bracket. That means they are free. Then we have corolla 5, they are put in bracket. Corolla is gamopetalous. So petals are united. And androecium we have, that is stamens are 5 attached to the petal. Therefore, they shown the attachment of corolla with the androecium. And gynoecium, you find the carpels are 2. The carpels are fused, as I said, syncarpous, and they are superior ovary. Superior means you will find a line underneath the G. So, same thing you will find in Nerium oleander and Tevacia peruviana. But only difference you will find that Nerium and oleander shows presence of bracts and bracteoles. So, some of the plants of this family, members of the mostly temperate, they are tropical and subtropical regions. You will find they are represented by many genera like Catharanthus, Alamander, Nerium, and etc. Now, some of the important ornamental, economic, and medicinal species of this family. This is the tree I was speaking about. This is Alstonia scholaris. Now, this you will find the bark possesses medicinal properties, which is used for diarrhea, dysentery, and its latex is used for ulcers. Now, other plant which we see, that Carissa carenda, is a common English name because it is caranda. And these fruits are used as vegetables. You can use them in pickle. They are wild growing, as well as you can. They make a good hedge plant. Then Nerium indicum. This is very important, students, to know that Nerium is a poisonous plant, a very poisonous plant. It causes cardiac arrest. So you find number of times this plant is found in houses, in your gardens. So we have to be careful when children come closer to this. It can can lead you in coma, even the smoke of this when it is burnt. Then we have Rauwolfia serpentina. Again, a very common wild growing plant, normally seen in rainy season. Now, this one, the root possesses properties which are used for hypertension, mental disorders, and snake bite. Then we have Tevacia peruviana, another very important poisonous plant, which is commonly seen wild. We call it as yellow oleander. Now, this plant, including its latex, is very toxic, and especially its fruits. They're highly poisonous. Then alamander is a common plant which is grown in your gardens as an ornamental plant. The references further, if you want to refer further for more details, you can refer to these references by Chopra, Gurcharan Singh, Pandey, and others. Thank you, students.